Elliott, I be feeling you, man. I feel you, man. I be feeling your pain. I be feeling your pain. I know what it is, man. I know what it is,
you
man.
Know, right?
I be feeling you, man.
They content create. I despise that. I create content.
And they tries that.
Yeah. I think you wrote that one for me. I think.
Yeah, you know it.
I think that might have been for me.
But man.
Not putting me down, like helping me.
No, I'm just I feel you.
Echoing me.
Echoing your sentiments.
Yeah. It's funny because remember I went crazy with the streaming Nicki Minaj thing.
Yeah.
But think about it now. It's like that was ahead of its time. That was a big man, and I reacted to that in this sort of like visceral way. And it's just like
you be right, Elliott.
Thank you,
be
brother.
right.
Thank you, brother.
Don't listen. I don't care what nobody say.
Gave Hell Have No Fury to XXL.
Yeah.
That's why you guys love me for life. Hell Have No Fury.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hope we shoot this bonus kid. You shooting in this? Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Nah, you be
right,
bro.
Start.
You be right.
I can't believe you guys is the brothers, the Thornton brothers, man. I don't think I've ever interviewed Malice. It's an honor, man.
Really?
Thank you, brother. Yeah, I don't think. I've seen people try to be critical of you, and they'll say, well, why can't, Push says it so clearly in the music, why does he then feel the need to do press and speak on these things in such a way? Like, is saying it in the music, which is already like, oh shit,
right?
You know what he just said? Enough? But you also love to me, you've always been a person that's been embraced by the right people in the press.
Right.
And want to express yourself through that platform. Can you talk about why it's also important not to just have the music do all the talking for you?
Because I feel like that was a part of the era and time in which we came into. Like I love the hip hop information.
Yeah.
And I like speaking to people who I feel like are well versed in talking about the craft.
Yeah.
Like I think that I think so many people aren't well versed in talking about the craft. So many people aren't well versed in, like, you know, in these platforms. The artistry in journalism is not.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a lot to me. Mm-hmm. We've been very, very intentional about who we were sitting down with. And, you know, honestly, because it's so much shit that goes on with us, mm-hmm. I got to speak to people who are, you know, that the public even is going to look at and be like, you can't bullshit them. Mm-hmm. And they know that this is just a true conversation. Because there's so much wild shit that happens, you know, and then by the time you say the shit that's so just egregious and people can't believe it's happening, then by the time you look on the internet and the bots and the fake talk and the behind the scenes, you know, just you know, them trying to save face, and they can because the internet is loud. Yeah, and those platforms are loud. Journalism and real journalists have been to my benefit because it shows that, like, you know, it just shows that, like, it's what I'm saying is real. Yeah. I don't, you know, I'm not gonna, you could never usually mask the interviews or the conversations and have that paired with like a #1 record and people just, you know, that hasn't been for me. So that's how I've always looked at, you know, just the journalism side of it for me. I mean, that's what even with Hell Hath No Fury, you know, specifically the PR and the journalism side of it has always been to our benefit, an asset for us.
And that's important, right, Malice?
Absolutely. Just networking, speaking with the right people, knowing that our story, because we always have a behind the scenes story. Yes. And if you
y'all can sit on for a goddamn year. How do y'all do that? Like,
well,
Well, also, shout out Frazier Tharp, you know, fellow journalist, good friend of mine. Yeah. Did an amazing job. And what I loved about that too, sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Is it made people read something, like, because we're so video driven now. Yeah. But that story you told, revealing for the first time, you know, the differences of what happened with the project, why it didn't come out last year, sitting with Frazier, who's a great journalist, at GQ. I love that written word story carried that power and showed the power of journalism.
Yes,
in a sense, right?
That's right. Absolutely, absolutely.
But that's what you were speaking to earlier.
No, I was just saying that we always have a real story, and it's like if you're not speaking with the right people, it will get skipped over or whatever. So
breezed over.
Yeah, it'll get breezed over. But like our story, even coming back, it just reminds me of everything that we've been through. The label drama.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the story of the Clipse so good. Just, I guess, the hardships, the journey, everything that we have to fight through just to be seen and heard.
Yeah, correctly. I love this album so much. It made me think about you guys more in a historical context. Like, you need to be in that conversation of hip hop's greatest groups. You know what I mean? But think about all the derailment career-wise. They held you guys back. Like, you almost didn't get a fair shake at like competing on that level because of the business and the politics of it.
For sure.
So how does it really come together where it just seems dreamlike that you guys finally get back together? Pharrell's like running Louis Vuitton. He's running the castle. He's the man.
Right.
And that you decided you're going to go to Paris and under his watch craft this album. Like it doesn't even seem real.
Well, the Paris portion of it, I feel like we didn't have a choice because he kind of really threw himself in that position. Mm-hmm. Like, he was, named creative director, but he doesn't treat it like a vanity title. Mm-hmm. He like actually moved there, actually sits in, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, mind you, I've seen this before. So I'm like, hey bro, you could be home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could be home and like just poach greatness and and step in every blue moon.
But he's got like a sewing machine right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a sewing machine. It's a sketch person. It's like he's really he really took that title and really took it to heart and is really really working at it. So part of the deal was he had to have a studio set up in the headquarters, and with that being the case, we had to spend the time out there to get it done.
What was that process like for you, Malice? Like returning back to this foundation and people saying, man, that the pen is still sharp, man. How do you keep the pen so sharp, man?
It's just like riding a bike, and I also want to say like, I've had 2 solo projects of my own, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Just with my thoughts and the things that I've been dealing with in the issues of life. So I've, always kept up with the writing part of it in my rap. And it's just, I feel like it's just natural, man. It's hip hop. Yeah.
You speak openly about the conflicted times of going back to, do you return back to rap? You made this thing, you left us, you came back, and to balance that, right? Because people were like, what do I expect to hear from Malice on this project? Is he going to talk about back when he was doing certain things or what the changes have happened? How did you find that right balance to express your story?
It's always just been present day, real life, real times, things that we are going through currently, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's what makes it easy because we never chase trends or chase what's going on. It's just who we are.
I mean, that intro, the Birds Don't Sing, you said, lost in emotion, mama's youngest, trying to navigate life without my compass. Some experience death and feel numbness, but not me. I felt it all and couldn't function. Malice, you said your car was in the driveway. I knew you were home. By the third knock, a chill ran through my bones. The way you missed mama, I guess I should have known. Chivalry ain't dead. You ain't let her go alone. You guys are actual brothers. You lost your mother and father in a short time. Just to have the power and come together and make a record like that. How do you even tap into that?
I just think it was the hardest thing, hardest record we ever done, hardest record I've ever done. Not just from my standpoint. I think it was crushing to hear my little brother's thoughts on, losing our parents.
Yeah.
So it was like double grief because, I can handle mine, but, just hearing my brother express his emotions and some of the things that he said, he didn't even know. Like I had heard my mom say these things, to me, and he's expressing them. So, it was just deep. And I just think the good thing about it is if you can find a silver lining is this is something that everybody goes through. And I think if you haven't went through it, one day, you know, you will. And I think this record will touch, you know, a lot of people and give people hope.
Yeah. Was it a no-brainer to make it the intro push, like to really grab this moment?
It wasn't a no-brainer to make it the intro until after we did it. It was probably, you know, it was super emotional the whole time.
Yeah.
When we're talking about recording it in the headquarters, it looks like this. We record like this. So, but let's just say the room is way longer, and you know, you can shut it off. The doors are open, and it's just a long room of different areas of people, like I said, sketching, sewing, bags, shoes, whatever. And this
so that
is our
workflow is
part.
not stopping. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
So this part is the music. You know, this is the music, but it's open. Everybody's working to creation. Man, we crying. You know, P crying. The workers are crying because they're in it in real time.
Yeah.
So you know, and then you know, he kind of like, he has this thing where musically he locks into the emotion and says like, yo, don't let the emotion out the room. So like it's
so he wants to fuel that.
He fuels it. Yeah. We all fueling it, but it's, you know, it's tough. It's, you know, it's like a 4-day verse of like yo, you know what, I'm tired today. I can't, you know, you got 8. You know, you got 6, you got 2. Might have got 2 bars one day. But with that being said, yeah, you know, it was so in you know, after making it, it was agreed upon like, yo, this is the hardest record. Like, this is the hardest record, and because it's the hardest record, it should go at the top. It can't just go at the bottom like somebody would put at the bottom of a record. And
that's too predictable.
Yeah. And I think it made good on the album for the story arc of the, you know, just to the story arc of the album and the yanking of emotion and just, you know, just, man, you know, you go from that to Chains and Whips. And then, you know, like it's just like, it's a lot to be said for the roller coaster ride of emotion, hip hop, you know, raps, and then introspective, all things considered. You know what I'm saying? It's like all of this is, you know, so be it, battle raps. It's just,
are you going for that? Because it feels like everything from the title to everything just feels powerful, right? Like, what is even to you? What does "Let God Sort Them Out" mean to you when that phrase? What does that mean to you?
Well, we would say, you know, kill them all. Let God sort them out, because it's a lot going on. You know, politics, red tape, haters. You know what I'm saying? Just so much stuff going on, and we're just gonna do what we do and let God sort them out.
So it's almost like a critique of the landscape. In a sense,
absolutely,
for sure.
Clear out the mess because we're back.
Yeah,
kind of energy. And what do you mean when you say it's culturally inappropriate? You keep nailing that point.
You know, no, listen. It's culturally inappropriate. Is just when you hear the sound bite. What happened was, you know, we're making the music, and man, we get so hyped, and you know, it might have been a beat or just the freestyling or whatever that's going on, and in the middle of it, I forgot who said it. Just was like, man, this shit is culturally fucking appropriate, like, you know what I'm saying? And the engineer said, our man Mike, he was like, yo, you know what? Hold on, let me say it in the mic. He was like, say it in the mic and let me run it through a filter of like different voices. He was like, and then just run that through the, you know, let that be a constant theme, because every time we would like do a record or feel a certain way about a record, you know, being that was said once, we'd be like, nah, this shit culturally inappropriate. This shit is fucking crazy.
What does it mean to you, Malice? It's just no holds barred?
Nah, I just feel like, you know, we know when we being ignorant. You know what I'm saying? We know exactly when we being ignorant. So, you know, yeah.
Well, right now, currently, because of your comments with Travis Scott, very revealing on So Be It.
Right.
Speaking on those things, like, I mean, is there a line for you that things get too personal, or do you feel like you have to just tell your truth?
Nah, and that's all it is. It's just me telling my truth, and I think people have I think they take for granted the things that they do wrong. You know what I'm saying? They do a lot of wrong in regard to me.
Yeah.
And they take for granted that I just, I'm very quiet about. I don't complain. I don't bitch. I don't tell. I don't, I don't do shit like that. So you can get something off on me. You can get something off on me
momentarily.
A whole narrative will go, and no one will ever. He'll never clarify it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the unwritten rule. You know what I'm saying?
It's supposed to be the unwritten rule.
It's supposed to be the unwritten rule. You don't have to go back and and tell everything and explain
and go on
yourself.
Twitter and say,
yeah.
that ain't what
this happened because of this.
Yeah, you did this. You bitch.
You just navigate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just navigate, never complain about nothing, and you just find a way to to persevere and overcome.
And have your moment when you want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even you being critical of Kanye at first when I read the article with Frazier, and then someone's like, it's just kind of shocking to hear you get to this point where you're willing to say, you know what, I can't deal with this guy anymore. Like this is the end of this. Like I was part of this. I appreciate my time with this. It helped my career. It was great. I contributed a lot myself.
We helped each other though.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Exactly.
Everybody got to understand that we helped each other. It's nobody just helped me ever. Like we did good business.
Yeah. Great business.
Very good business.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about from my beautiful dark to here. We did good business. I did the best business, to be honest. So
it just got to a point where you felt that wasn't appreciated, and
1,000%. You didn't appreciate my business, and it gets into that, and it gets into just the, I'm from a I came into this with my brother, and I'm from a world and a culture of like a certain level of loyalty that we don't,
play with.
We win together, we lose together, we do it's together, and it's fine. And amongst the gang, we have that comfort that this is what it's gonna be forever, and this is how we gonna carry it forever. And he doesn't carry it like that. He never has carried it like that. But it's a culture. Like I had to leave from out of that fold because it's a culture. He's created a culture of that type of business and attitude amongst each other. And
you don't like his leadership.
I hate his leadership.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I only like his music. I like his music. Like and I like we bond on we bond in the nostalgia of what we like musically. But hell no, I don't like his leadership. Fuck no. Are you kidding me? No way. No way. He ain't no leader. Like he ain't no leader.
And speaking of business,
he just make good music.
Exactly. Speaking of business though, like so again, to go back to, we were supposed to get this album last year. You make this record with Kendrick Lamar, Chains and Whips.
Right.
And that takes everything off course. Like,
right.
Can you explain further, like what happened at that point? Like why did you feel like you expected to have some pushback or
never
wanted to get off the label or?
No, man, you gotta realize, man, for the past 2 years, man, I just been trying on clothes and making music. Like
you keep saying that, Malice. He keeps saying he's trying on clothes.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
And then bothered by that. He's putting clothes on.
It's the truth. You know why? Because I feel like I was out of the way. With everything that was going on, and everything that's been going on and everything that I've been in since 2018 up until now. I felt like the past 2 years, I've been focused on, you know, us getting this music right and, you know, just trying to, be a partner in some of my other endeavors, whether it be Adidas or LV. So I felt like I was out the way.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, also, you know, I feel like we're very self-contained in this in this creation process of music. I don't, you know, we don't have rap friends necessarily. You know, we go one place to get the music and we do what we do. So when we come back to the label, it's like, man, we not only am I giving you the cream of the crop, but I'm also like pulling in the allies that I do have, and you know, all in the sake of great music, like all about, you know, just greatness.
Yeah. But that's selected curators.
That is selected and curated, and curated.
You look at the track list.
Curated by us, and nobody else could curate it.
Yeah.
People can't even make these calls.
Yeah.
Nobody. You know, so it's like, with that being the case, when you come back and you feel like you bearing gifts to label, like, look, boom. And for them to have, you know, the energy of like of a censorship level of energy, like, no, we're not putting this out. You stop, you know, talking to my management team. You won't type or email, correspond.
Oh, so they broke communication, Malice, you said?
Well, no, they would communicate, but only via phone. They wouldn't they wouldn't type any of the
on the record,
Right.
Yeah.
So you know, it was so crazy to me because I was like, this ain't real. Like, come on, we still got shit. It's just a moment. We still got, it's a phase. We still got shit to record, whatever. But as time went on, it was like, oh, wait a minute, y'all are serious about this.
Yeah.
And ended up having to find a new home, purchase our way out of the deal.
Yes.
And
but you had no idea. You had no previous thought that it would get to that point.
Tell me something. Like, come on, who turns in an album like this and thinks that they're not going to put the album out?
So it's pretty much the status of
this is done. This is
last year.
They have
the
all
full
of this.
Full product.
They got everything.
Yeah.
So and for me at that point, I was like, man, this shit reminds me too much of 2018. And reminds me of everything that happened, you know, within that year and a half.
Your battle with Drake.
Right, but I mean, just the censorship of it and the things that, you know, were stopped and halted and verses and so on and so forth. I was like, oh, this is a real situation. Yeah. I like, we didn't have a choice. Like, we have to go, because I wasn't gonna feel comfortable at all there.
Yeah, it's interesting because people think, like, you know, you had your historic battle with Drake. Then Kendrick and Drake engaged. So it's like, people always feel, what does Pusha think it is? But in the day, you do end up getting pulled into it by having Kendrick on this record, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
Well, why is the choice of that? Were you inspired for how he was moving triumphantly as an MC? Like, what made you want to put him on the record?
Kendrick is a top-level lyricist.
Yeah.
Who we can only have top-level lyricists on a Clipse album. You got to be a top-level lyricist. You have to be a somebody who has their own lane. You got to be legend status. Yeah. You got to be up and coming new, but people can see you can see the fucking what's special. Yeah. Like, that's it. It wasn't even nothing. I mean, you've heard it now. So what I'm saying is, you know that it was only optics.
Yeah.
This wasn't about nobody jumping out the window on anybody or anything like that. It was the mere optics of Clipse with Kendrick coming out on Def Jam under UMG. They weren't going to deal with that while this whole lawsuit situation was going on.
What was it like? So did you have in mind right away Roc Nation might be the right place for it? Like, what was appealing there for it? Your previous relationship with Hov, or just...
No, that was a secret. I didn't even know about it, to be honest. That was my manager shopping.
Steven Victor.
Yeah. Steven shopped it, and people took people took many people took interest in wanting to do the deal. Yeah. And
hearing this type of music.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Because again, you get the whole thing. And
there's no A&R work to do here.
Right. It has never been.
Yeah.
For a long time. So he went and shopped it and ended up giving Hov a call, like, yo, so on and so forth. And then he came back to me and was like, yo, man, I asked Hov and Hov want to do it. And for me, like, shit, I thought that was a great look.
Yeah.
Great look.
Did you play him the album yet? Did he give you feedback on the album?
Yeah, of course. I mean, sent him. He got it like you.
Okay.
Yeah.
hey, I don't have nothing, man.
Oh, right. I forgot.
We don't know when this is coming out. I don't have anything.
I fucked up.
Low key, I don't have anything, man. But when he shouted out Hov, 96 Hov. Did you want to get him on that Mike Tyson joint?
Oh,
we talked about that. I think he wanted to get on that at one point.
Yeah,
it felt like he was supposed to pop in on the Mike Tyson joint.
Yeah.
You want me to make a call? I can try to help. You know what I'm saying?
Help!
No, but you said the fly shit though. It's better to have this business. You've had great verses from him.
Oh, for sure.
But this is business, and and they support creators.
This has been great business. The squad over there at Roc Nation, man. Yeah, man. This shit has been it's been really good, and it's good to like work with people who are in it. They're in it like we're in it. So it's like we can pivot if something's going wrong, or we can, make certain spontaneous decision making. Yeah. It's different than being at at one of the majors under those umbrellas, because it takes they're never that nimble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this has been a very, very nimble process.
So is it going still through the UMG system, or is it separate distribution when it goes out to the world?
We're going through Roc distribution.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Like sort of like an independent.
Yeah.
Got you. So it isn't, because I know sometimes Roc was putting stuff through the UMG system, but this is UMG's loss. Like at the end of the day, no matter what. Right? It's funny you mentioned like that's my opinion. With Def Jam got a lot of heat. Was it even above Def Jam's head in terms of it being a UMG thing? That's how I looked at it. Because then you was mentioning legal people by name, and I was like, oh shit, like Pusha.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. See, I just don't know how that hierarchy works. I'm not. That's a little bit too. I've never been in the crux of that part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But nor it being your interest.
Yeah. Not at all.
Malice, you said no more Neptune, P Saturn, powerful line. Like, what made you sort of tap into that? And because I think the Neptune separation is kind of a big deal to us hip hop fans, right?
Absolutely.
What made you directly address that?
Just still giving honor to P. I understand that the Neptunes are no longer, but we still go forward. We still go forward. We still persevere. We still push through. So gotta call them something else other than the Neptunes.
I mean, even with the So Be It, it's like the people are saying, like, it seems like especially Push in particular, that disrespect of P will not be tolerated, right? Like we don't want to see your guy.
To any of us.
It's to any of us. But I mean, honestly, man, we're really in our own world over here. Mm-hmm. Like we're really in our own world. Like we don't really. To do anything underhanded to anybody over here is just crazy, because we're not in your mix. We're not in your mix, like ever. We never want to be in your mix. We don't want.
We don't want to party with you.
We don't want to party with you. We don't want anything from you. Half the time we don't even like your makeup. So it's like, why would you do anything underhanded to us, man?
How do you judge what's gonna? I mean, you're going on tour soon. Like, how do you judge what a success looks like? Like, it's not about numbers anymore, right? Like, it's a sense of things the same way. Like first week sales and stuff like that. Like how? So obviously the music's great on its own,
right?
How do you measure? Like, is it just impact? Like, what is success gonna look and feel like to you guys once this finally comes out to the world?
I think it's just still just catering to our fans. Still just catering to the people that were waiting for us and who stuck around, who always have shown us support. we know who our audience is, who they have always been, and what works for us. And we do this because this is what we do. We don't do anything else. This is our art, and I look at Clipse as a novelty. You always know what you're gonna get when dealing with the Clipse. No more, no less.
So it's legacy. It's to preserve the legacy.
Yeah, and I think we're just running a different race. I mean, I don't think we've seen anybody competitively compete in hip hop for this long.
Yeah,
like to really have to compete. Like we have to compete, and I think what it is that we do, lyrically, lyric driven, and the actual taste level of the music is something that we that people have not gotten to see this long. They, so it's like we're really showing that this doesn't have to age out.
Yeah,
like this don't have to age out at all, as long as you stay ingrained in the culture of it all. Yeah. Like it's not about chasing a trend. It's not about trying to conform. It's about just giving the people quality to A and B. So either you like this or you like that, but you like Clipse or you like whatever it is, but they have quality to pick from.
Yeah. How you gonna approach the tour? And Malice, I wanted to ask you, because I know Push has expressed to me how certain Clipse records, party singles, he's not really a fan of some of the catalogs. Right?
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way about some of those songs? Like, was like Ma Don't Love It? What's the one you hate?
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. I just love all the records that go hard. Yeah.
But I think
so. We're gonna get grinding, but we ain't gonna get Ma Don't Love Her.
Yeah, I think that, but I think that comes with like that's one of the benefits of having a catalog, being in it this long, and having grooming your fans to like really rock with you. Like you don't have, like, we do what we want now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And I think our fans know, that I think they've grown with us in a way, and they understand the differences and the things that we may not be into anymore.
Yeah. So the set list will probably be very curated more on the current side of things.
It's so curated.
Have you guys mapped it out yet? How you gonna approach it?
Nah, man. I've been
also, you've gotten to become a really good performer, but to be back on stage with your brother, you guys haven't done shows like this since the past era.
We done some shows.
Okay, got you.
Something in the Water.
Okay.
I feel like we did Lollapalooza.
Was it?
Yeah, Chicago Lollapalooza.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, for
Roots
sure.
Picnic just Picnic
the
other day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How's it feel being back on stage with your brother? That part of it.
Great, man. It's perfect. Meant to be. Absolutely. It's crazy. Yeah.
Might get that Malice solo album, man. Not Malice,
but
a Malice solo album.
Why not? Yeah.
So you guys will get pulled into who's rapped better on each song, and who got the better verse?
Well, they say They say he got me. I'm 0-2 right now.
You're 0-2 in these songs? Ace Trumpets and So Be It?
Listen, they said Ace Trumpets.
They say you did the Prodigy flow, you did the Nori flow.
Yeah, listen, they picked them both fucking times. Hey, man.
You 0-2?
I'm 0-2. I'm fighting back. I gotta fight back.
Nah.
You don't buy into that, Malice?
I don't buy into that at all, man. I don't buy into it.
The net said it.
It's got to be true.
The net said it.
What's your? I think it was asked before. What's your favorite Malice verse on the album?
My favorite Malice verse is So Far Ahead or FICO. It's those. Both of those, man, are like. There are. I wish that I said. I wish I could have said I done been both Mason Bethers.
Yeah, talk about that.
I wish that I said I done sung along with rappers I never believed.
Ooh.
That second bar is I wish I fucking wrote that.
What made you take it there, Val?
I mean, just being creative, man. It ain't no magic trick. It's just, things that just come to my mind, as I'm writing, listening to the beat or whatever. I would say for me, Pusha's flow on POV is incredible. I think they kind of was trying to scrap that, but I had to fight for that to stay on the
I
album.
was trying to scrap that?
Yeah, man.
I think Pharrell thought the beat needed a switch up or whatever. That's exactly what he did with it, but at the time, it was kind of like from top to bottom the same beat. So
I know Tyler must have been geeked to
yeah,
get that record.
absolutely.
Yeah,
How did that? Because that was one of the last ones, right? One of the last features.
Yeah.
What made you? I mean, you guys done stuff before, but like, why did you feel like he would be right to be on this song?
Well, he was. Tyler was in and out during the process. He did his collaboration with LV as well.
Okay, yeah.
During the time,
during that
so
time
he's
we
out.
recorded. So he was hearing little bits of the album.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
he heard Joe
was
cooking up.
He was calling me, asking me for certain songs. Like, man, let me get this. Let me listen to that. And I'm like,
he's like a kid at Christmas. His dreams coming true. Like Pharrell and the Clipse will make an album.
So he heard POV, and I was like, oh, he was on tour. And I was like, yo, I mean, I sent it to you. I was like, I'm gonna send it to you, but I need it back. I was like, I know you're on the road, and then somebody told me, I forgot who it was, but they were like, oh, he has a setup on the road. I was like, oh. I was like, yeah, I didn't know you was recording out there.
Oh, while he's on tour.
Yeah, I was like, oh man,
hop on that.
I need it back. It back. Couple weeks, please. And he did. He just did, and it was incredible. Incredible, man.
What was the process getting Nas on the album?
Man, Nas was supposed to have been on Hear Me Clearly from It's Almost Dry.
Oh, wow. That's right.
And it just didn't happen. And he called me one day and said, hey, after the album came out, was like, yo, I'm getting a whole bunch of heat because everybody now knows that I was supposed to be on this record, and they telling me I'm stupid and da-da-da. And I was like, nah, we gonna find another one. And so during the process of making Let God Sort Him Out, again, Pharrell was looking for a change. Yeah. And he was like, yo, I need y'all to put 8. Y'all need some 8s for this joint I just did. And that was the change. And I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, this is Nas's beat. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, whatever you were in, you had to been thinking about Nas, because I was like, yo, this is for Nas. And just sent it to him. And sent it to him with the verses on it. And he was like, oh my God, this is crazy. He was like, so this whole part is mine? And I was like, yeah. like, yeah, that's all for you. I was like, we're not getting on it, but please just send it back, man. Yeah. Please send it back.
And were y'all hyping Pharrell? Because Pharrell's doing so many type of different hooks and choruses and bridges.
Yeah.
Like, what was that like to get him to crack the mic and really just be all in?
Man, I think what we've done collectively has sparked a nostalgia of when we used to be, really creating young and just just early days. I don't think he gets that energy often.
Yeah, no, I don't think we've heard that from him.
Yeah,
in a long
so
time.
I think I don't think there's you can make a Clipse album with him not being a part of it like that, or being so ingrained in it, hooks or whatever the case may be. He tries to not, but ultimately, man, I remember we had a manager, Tony Draper, at one time, and he used to be like, man, Pharrell the third Clipse. Pharrell is the third clip. He got to be on the, put him up there. Here's the third clip. Got to treat him like Eazy-E. He got to be Eazy-E.
Oh, like Eazy-E?
Yeah, he Eazy-E. Draper, man.
No, we would love. We see when he rhyme over like a Wu-Tang beat or something like that. We always would go crazy. Like Re-Up Gang, when he jumped on the posse cut. Re-Up Gang. I think it
lights
that hip hop fire in him, like
yeah. I think it's important for him to like hear and know that. I don't know that he gets that type of information.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, all the time.
Yeah. Well, thank you, fellas. I appreciate it, man.
Oh shit, we done?
We got some bonus stuff. For you, but more for a talk. But I appreciate y'all.
That's crazy. Our food ain't even get here yet. I'm thinking we gonna have a fucking day.
We're gonna keep going. Let's go. My man D.I. got some stuff. We gonna flow.